In fact, people were up 8 a.m. yesterday, still screaming, "We no go Grio, we no go Grio," and saying, "Well, NSAS now." So that's been the main conversation all around. But we cannot, talk about this without looking at the role of the social media in all of this. And that's why I focus now. We'll be examining the impact of the social media on the NSAS protest. And John Obidi joins us now. By the way, you can be a part of the broadcast by joining us live on Facebook. We're streaming live right now on Facebook. You can join us at Nigeria Info 99.3, and you could even send us a WhatsApp message. If I were you, I would do that. If I have a question or comment, just something to say, the WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805, and you could even call me live when the time is right. The number to call is 0700 993 993. So we will look at an assessment of the enormous power the social media possesses, and also randomly survey the impact of the social media has, of course, on the NSAS protests. So let me bring you up to speed just before we get to bring you into the conversation by also bringing our guests on the show today. John Obidi, founder Head Start Africa, is a man who gathers over 100,000 strong Africans. I'm talking about young tech enthusiasts from across the African continent, making power available, if I'll say it that way, and making the necessary change that we need as a people. John Obidi, it's good to have you on the show again today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Colin. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, fantastic. I mean, it's always a delight to have you. So we will talk about we're examining the impact of this social media on the NSAS campaign. I would like to start by, first of all, bringing the listener up to speed. Recent happenings in the country have indeed revealed that the international organizations and concerned individuals across the world have begun to raise the alarm about the rising rate of police brutality in the country, particularly with the country's youth. Now, this has over the years degenerated into diverse criminal activities perpetrated by some members of the police force, such as indiscriminate shooting at unarmed citizens, extortion, brutality, amongst many other things that Nigerian youths have experienced at the hands of some of these elements. Now, it is based on this backdrop, by the way, that the popular hashtag NSAS was created so as to challenge the impunity with which the members of this defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad SAS officials operate. Now, this therefore helps to reinforce the fact that some persons view the social media as a platform that helps to amplify, their voices, or the voice of the voiceless. It is based on this that we have a tech enthusiast. I'm talking about the man who is behind Head Start Africa, John Obidi, joining us to discuss this matter. Once again, John, welcome. So let me hit the ground running with my first question. How would you assess the progress of the NSAS campaign from a perspective of a tech enthusiast like you?
Well, I think it's been largely laudable. The first thing I have noticed is how much the social media campaigns have been able to sensitize people as to what is going on. It seems that, in Nigeria, we seem to be largely separated along classicist lines. And so there is a social class of people that seem to be blissfully unaware of what we young people are talking about, and that is the NSAS protest. And so when these things are trending on social media and people are sharing their stories, more people get to know about it home and abroad. So the first angle is from the awareness angle. It's fantastic. It's been trending for days, and everyone now knows that there is a problem. And also, social media has really helped with mobilization of personnel and resources, because the different convergence points, people just get to know on social media. And these movements have no leaders, no clear leaders, no organizers. But on social media, everyone just knows where the convergence point is, and everyone meets there. It's fantastic. They're also able to use that to mobilize resources. So there are people who have been donating funds so that the protesters can be given food and water and even first aid kits. And so these things are made possible on social media. There are fundraising campaigns ongoing, and social media makes this possible. And there's this community of trust because everyone is united among this common cause, because we all believe that this is a societal evil that has to go. And then, of course, there's legal.
Mm-hmm.
The social media campaigns have also helped people to mobilize legal aid for those who have been unlawfully detained by men of the Nigeria police force. And so a good number of those people, if not all, have been released or are in the process of being released. And lastly, is in the area of documentation, because people are now recording. It's not really been a culture in Nigeria for Nigerians to really record the Nigerian police force or even the men of SARS, but there's a lot more people who are recording this footage, and so the issue is coming out to light. This is something that has been in existence in Nigeria since Nigeria became a thing. For decades it has been in existence, but it has simply gone unreported and unrecorded. But now everything is being documented, and everyone now knows that there is an elephant in the room.
I mean, you're considered one of the strongest social media voices. Of course, you are one strong man in that space. You know, you're an exceptional influencer. Let's talk. How would you say, what other areas, or what would you, other areas you think the youths could use the power of the social media to bring the world's attention to? Because it seems like, you know, I mean, globally, everyone is on this now, thanks to the social media. Imagine without the social media, how we would get this. So what are the other areas you think that the youths can take advantage of and, you know, use the social media to call the attention of the world?
Well, there are, aside tweeting and posting on Instagram, we need to hold these conversations. I mean, like we're doing now, you and I are having this conversation about the NSARS movement, and millions of people around the world have access to this conversation. There are other platforms too where we can converge and talk about the issues that are pervading our society. We can hold Instagram live broadcasts, we can get it on Facebook Live, we can get it on YouTube Live, and two more people can gather together, have these conversations, and thousands and millions of people are gathered and watching from all over the world. Social media has made sure that the world is now flat, and so we have to take advantage of the technologies and get our voices heard. I posted on my Instagram story this morning about how third world Africans should be the first to adopt technology, and I was proposing cryptocurrency because we heard that one of the donation links that had been shut down allegedly. And so we said, look, even if it's shut down, there are other ways. What about cryptocurrency? Do people know how to use cryptocurrency to exchange value? And so I posted that out. And so all these things, I think we also had some other pages. Someone also posted about what happens if the internet gets shut down. Do you know how to use a VPN and all these technologies? And so we're using it to sensitize people that in this age and time, our voices cannot be shut down, and we have to be heard some way or the other.
All right, we're live on Facebook. I see some comments on Facebook already. Find us at Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook. The search Nigeria space info space 99.3 live, and you can view what's happening in the studio. It's visual radio. First, of course, you know, we are leaders in that. So we're having the conversation, examining the impact of the social media on the NSAS campaign, and John Obidi is speaking to us on this. Now, understanding the fact that the social media, John, called the attention of the world, what's the strategy, or what strategy would you advise the youths to embark upon in order to lead the nation's development and growth in other sectors?
Yeah, so on my Instagram, I made a post, I think 2 days ago, that what I just see is, you know, what has happened now is a dress rehearsal for other ways that the youth can engage the scheme of things. If you know, the youth of Nigeria have historically been apathetic towards the electoral process. You know, the youth just, you know, it's kind of like there's no way for the youth to participate in mainstream fields like oil and gas, banking, and so on. Those have the youth are actively excluded from those fields, and so we just created our own way in tech. You know, and so things like politics and all those things, you know, we just like, you know what, forget about that. We'll make our way with tech and other things, right? But for the first time in a long time, the youth are actually voicing and coming out to protest. It's a beautiful time. And so I think it is just a dress rehearsal for 2023. And hopefully Nigerians will realize that Nigeria is not a two-party state, and that we have multiple options for governance, multiple excellent options. All right. And so it's starting now with the NSARS, but it's not going to end at NSARS. Nigeria is a broken system. There are things that are so broken. Impunity, excuse me, is a wide issue. It's not just in the Nigerian police force, it's in the armed forces, it's in immigrations, it's in customs, it's everywhere. And finally, we have decided that this is time to clean up our country. So I see great things to come, just beginning with the NSARS movement.
All right, John, they're being very optimistic about the newly found power of the youths that would help reposition the focus of the government. And that's the hope of every Nigerian. But, John, there is a worry. We had pockets of reports of violence, on both sides. What would you advise? Can we stall or prevent violence from getting in the way of these peaceful, timely protests of the Nigerian youths?
Well, I think that there is a strategy at play to make the Nigerian youth seem violent. And so if they can paint the Nigerian youth, or if they can paint the protesters as violent, then any use of force or illegal detentions or even murder would be justified. And so what I would advise is that the youth organize themselves and do their best to keep the protests peaceful. I was really glad that the protesters at the Lekki toll gate were able to clean up after themselves. After the protest was done, they got bags and cleaned up all the refreshments, and everything was neat. And that was really well organized. Fantastic. So they have to keep it organized and keep it peaceful, because for as long as the protests are peaceful, the Nigerian police force will not have any excuse for brutality. And if brutality exists, they are going to answer for their crimes.
All right, great. If you're just joining us, you are listening to Teke Talk, and we're talking the impact of the social media on the NSAS campaign. And that's the most biggest conversation in the world right now. Some messages on Facebook already. Cellcap Samson says, yes, Nigeria government needs to provide us our demand. Okay. And Matthias Sunday Issa says, my mentor is live. Good to see you, Daddy J.O. Okay, Fatima Ajid, all thanks to Allah. Who made it possible for me to be free from hepatitis B virus through the help of a doctor. And I'm glad that what's happening in Nigeria, there's going to be a change. Amen to that. Obina Ayim say, in Nigeria, Bauna, come on, pack well. Aina Paul says, Nigeria needs to stand strong and fight for what is truly ours. Stay strong, Nigeria. I agree to that, Aina. And Memory Live Yacht, that's YCT. I don't know what that is, but hey, he says, this is the right time to make the real change. Now, Owodolu Olaiwola, he said, if we don't act now, we might be silent forever. 2023 must be important. It's the most important. We need to put our heads together and work towards 2023. We need to start the journey now, he says. Tunde Adebola says, this is just the beginning. Okay? So Emmanuel Akoni says, well, aluta continua. That reminds me of the school days. John, our time is really fast spent because we do have this No-Go-For MAGA cyber security drama coming up in just a moment, just to keep our Nigerians safe. As we go safe, we stay safe in the COVID-19. We should also be safe online, and that's very necessary. So, John, thank you for speaking with us this morning. We have to let you go. So, of course, you can be found on social media at John Obidi, right?
Yes. Just search me on Instagram. I'm at John Obidi. And you can join my Facebook group called Head Start Africa.
All right. And that's it, guys. Thank you, John, for speaking with us. Stay safe. And would you end by saying what's up, Lagos, or NSAS? Which would you rather say?
What's up, Lagos? NSAS, reform the police force.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, John Obidi there. Speaking with us, founder Head Start Africa, tech enthusiast, and also many things in one. He just spoke to us about the NSAS campaign, the impact of the social media. Now, Jasmine, are you happy as a Nigerian youth that finally, from normal social media tweets, where now the whole world is listening to us and it's looking like something good is going to come out?
We dig Gidigba, we ping. Die. I love it.
She's excited because she's excited. There's got to be something that shows us that there's hope for the future. This looks like an opportunity for us to make it. But now, I'm going to repeat again like I did yesterday. Please, no violence. And if you watch anybody who is making statements like we die here, we do this here, you don't need that.
Please,
this is a peaceful protest.
Very peaceful.
The more peaceful we become, the better for us.
And the less people get into any form of violence or deaths or anything.
Absolutely. So we go on a break. When we come back, the show continues. Don't forget, No-Go-For MAGA drama will be up. And after that, I'll be connecting with Wale Faru to speak on fintech. We have some amazing stories for you. We also have the figure of the week or the number of the week. You want to find out all these when we come back. And plus, we have the game to play. If I were you, I would stay tuned. My name is Collins. Teke. I'll be right back.
News, talk,